Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Ignorance of the foreign law is no excuse at all. That's why when going on a trip, it's desirable to know the law of a given country, even those that look funny and strange. Why is it illegal to eat patties on Christmas Day in the UK? What happens if you drink wine during your working hours in France? Is it possible to go to jail in China for mentioning Winnie the Pooh or Alice in Wonderland? In this video, we'll visit different countries to get answers for these questions. Also, we'll find out why rain in Portugal is a good reason not to go to work and how the law helps to stay slim in Japan. The United Kingdom. Since 1644, it is prohibited to eat patties at Christmas. The law was introduced by Oliver Cromwell. The law still exists, but fortunately is not used in practice. Cromwell's goal was to prevent gluttony and overeating, but for an inverted stamp with Queen Elizabeth, they say you can be considered a traitor to the motherland. This is due to the 1848 law on high treason, prohibiting any actions aimed at overthrowing the Queen. However, there is actually not a word about stamps, but a postcard with an inverted stamp can actually reach the addressee with a delay. There is a law in Scotland that was even officially recognized in 2008 as one of the funniest in the world. In case you need to go to the bathroom while driving, then you can easily enter any house and people are obliged to let you in. There is no such law on paper, but this does not mean that it is not adhered to. It appeared due to the hospitality of the Scottish people who are ready to accommodate even a stranger. France. If you suddenly decide to get yourself a pig during your visit to France, then you can choose any name for it except Napoleon. They say that even the commander himself once said this, apparently so people would not mock him calling him a pig. And if you send your child to a local school or decide to study at one of the country's universities yourself, then keep in mind that ketchup has been forbidden in schools and university canteens. That's because the country wants to promote a healthy lifestyle and healthy diet, as well as to remind students of the beauty of French cuisine. And of course, French fries with ketchup are still served, but this happens no more than once a week. There is another interesting law in France that prohibits drinking in a workplace.
No! God, please, no!
Except wine, beer and cider. So in fact, the law does not prohibit drinking at work, including real French wine. China. China is one of the richest countries when it comes to strange laws. It's forbidden here to save a drowning person because it's believed that this way you influence the man's destiny. And reincarnation, that is the relocation of the soul from one body to another after the death of the first one, is also prohibited at the legislative level. Actually, there are reasons for that and even some kind of logic. The goal of the government is to reduce the influence of Dalai Lama. So if someone appears after his death who declares himself the new Dalai Lama, then the government will be able to stop him from taking over because there is no such thing as reincarnation in the official records. This way the government controls Tibetan Buddhism. While China is a fan of prohibitions, even Winnie the Pooh is banned there. The reason is that the image of the Disney bear was often used for caricatures of Xi Jinping, a Chinese politician and the leader of the country. The Alice in Wonderland fairy tale has also been banned for more than 90 years in China because of the Cheshire cat with a human smile. Back in 1931, General He Jun considered that such talking animal in fairy tales demean the human dignity, stating that it's unacceptable to put thoughts in children's minds that animals have the same intellectual level as humans, and adopted the law not only prohibiting such kind of fairy tales but also threatening with the death penalty for those who dares to break the prohibition. Time passes, everything is changing, but the fairy tale about Alice is still banned in China. Portugal. Resting on the coast of the country, you should keep in mind if you feel the urge to relieve yourself, you won't be able to do it in the water. Such a ban dates back to the time when Portugal was a seafaring country that helped it to attract more and more tourists, so the ocean for Portugal is kind of a valuable commodity that allows its inhabitants to earn a living. Therefore, urinating in the ocean is at least disrespectful to what fits you. Do not spit in the well, you will need water to drink, the Portuguese proverb says. Portugal is the sunniest country in Europe. 364 days a year might be without rain at all, so if it rains, the Portuguese are allowed allowed not to go to work. Well, in St. Petersburg, such a law wouldn't exist, that's for sure. But if it rains in a sunny country, it is usually stronger than in Russia. Therefore, employers take care of the health of their employees who may catch a cold. There are also tales on the internet that the Portuguese are forbidden to give a son the name Tom. This is true, but in fact, the law applies to any abbreviated names. In this case, according to the documents, a child must be named Thomas, that is, have a full name, but friends and relatives can use the short form. Japan. Here we go again with the names. It's forbidden to give a child a name that contains something bad, destructive or frightening. One couple still decided to go against the rules and named a baby after one of the evil spirits of Japanese folklore. The parents had to face a court for their deed, pay the hefty fine, and give the child a more appropriate name. Japan is a country with a high life expectancy and inhabitants, the majority of whom are slender. How do they do it? Maybe the reason for that is the metabolo, short for metabolic syndrome, that is obesity. Yes, the Japanese are literally forbidden to be overweight. Every citizen of Japan aged 40 to 75 is required to visit a doctor once a year to have their waist size checked. Although there is no law on paper forbidding tattooed people to go to a swimming pool, you will often see posters banning people with tattoos from visiting this place. Well, this is due to the fact that once only members of the Yakuza could have tattoos there. So you might be mistaken for someone you're not. However, you can hide the tattoo by sticking a plaster on it or to choose a bathing suit that will hide the image. By the way, restaurants have a similar rule, so people with tattoos on their arms go there with long sleeves. Guys, if you liked the video, don't forget to smash a like button, it will help in the development of my channel. And of course, if you know any other strange laws, write about them in the comment section.